Hey travelers, how you doing? This is Marcello with Wandering Trader. Today we are talking about things to know before visiting Bali. You guys can see this amazing pool here in front of me. Maybe I'll do a panda, kind of show you guys the entire hotel. First and foremost, I want to say that Bali is as spiritual and majestic and serene as all you guys think it is, and is also a shithole, pollution, traffic that you don't think it is. I think there's both kind of worlds here, and most of us don't see kind of the latter. It's my first time here in Indonesia, my first time here in Bali. We're going to be here for over a week. So far it's been excellent, especially if you guys can come to a hotel like this one. You guys can see we got the private pool, behind the cameras, the tub. You can literally just jump into the pool from the tub. It's incredible. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of things you need to know, what you don't need to know. Where to stay, you know, all that kind of, all the good stuff, the meat. So, first and foremost, Bali is an island. It's not a physical place, or it's not a beach, it's not like a city. It's a complete island in Indonesia. It's kind of in the middle of the chain of islands in Indonesia. And for the most part, I think most people, if you look at the map, or maybe I'll put the map here so you guys can see, most people just kind of stay in the middle part. So from the bottom, the little tip, all the way from the middle part. And there's a variety of places that you guys should go. And I'm going to let you guys know, I got all my notes here by the way. I'm going to let all you guys know kind of all the areas that are the most popular and kind of fit it to where you guys want to go. If you're going to be here for more than a few days, 2 or 3 days, then definitely go to more than one place, because it's a completely different vibe in different places. So Ubud, which is kind of Ubud, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's in the middle kind of the island. So, you know, find that point that I told you, and then follow it up, and you'll find Ubud. And here it's very good for yoga retreats, for vegan food, you know, all the kind of really spiritual, the really healthy stuff that you guys are looking for is definitely here. Okay, so that's the first thing, is in Ubud, which I think is what everybody kind of Bali is known for, other than the beaches. Canggu, C-A-N-G-U-U, is a good surfing spots, cafes. It's a good spot for young travelers that are living in Bali for some time, and it's a bit of a tourist hub as well. Here in Ubud, there's a ton of tourists, but there's also a lot of locals as well, which is great. And here in Ubud is where you can see the really popular rice fields as well, so keep that in mind. Seminyak, luxury hotels, restaurants, and really upscale places. So if you guys are too good to come to Ubud, you guys can go to Seminyak. Kuta and Lagin, if I'm not saying it right, I'll try to put some of the text on the video here. Party scene, tourist hub, busy, loud, backpackers, that's where you need to go if you're interested in that. Nusa Dua is another place for the luxury resorts, the beaches, all that stuff. Denpasar is the city where all the commercial and the action is. It's very, very busy, a lot of traffic. Uluwatu is one of the beach places that's very, very beautiful. That's actually where we have been. I'll maybe show you guys some pictures and some video from that. It's a great bar for, you know, the hotel that we're staying at is absolutely incredible. And also it's a great for resorts and beaches and clubs as well. The last one is Lombok. It's a Gili island. It's a place to relax. It's a great place for beaches as well. So that's kind of an overall view of all the places in Bali. If you guys want really gritty, off the wall, no internet, go to the outer places in Bali, and you guys will find it. You guys can rent a scooter, which is the first thing I'm going to tell you guys to do. When you get here, find a guy on the street, just ask him for a scooter. We got it for 50,000 a day. If you do the conversion right now, it's about 13,000. So it works out to be, I'll do the math for you guys so you guys can know. 50,000 divided by 13,000, it's about $3.8 a day to rent a scooter. We paid $450,000 for 3 days, so $35, $34.61 to rent a scooter for 3 days. I I think this is one of the best experience you guys can have. It's a little bit crazy. You don't need a license. You don't need a passport. You don't need a credit card. All you do is you go to the corner guy, you get money out, you give him the money, you pay up front, and then you just take the scooter. It's literally like that. Make sure you wear the helmet. If you don't wear the helmet, if the police stop you, you'll have to, you know, give them a little present, if you know what I mean. You know, that's something that the guy renting the scooters told us. So I always wear that stupid helmet. I hate it. It's not that hot when you're driving around because the wind is hitting in your face, but keep that in mind. The people are, you know, I've traveled now, guys, for I think 8 years. I've been to over 100 countries, all 7 continents. I've lived in 12 countries spanning 5 continents, and these are some of the friendliest people that I have ever seen. We were at the airport arriving, and one of the tourists actually dropped their luggage in front of the guys that have the signs that are waiting for people, the tourists, and they started laughing at him. They were like, ah! It was epic. Epic. I hope I can find that video to put it in there because it was absolutely the hilarious thing. So they're always cracking jokes. They're always friendly. They're really curious. They ask you where you're going next, where you're staying. So that's one thing that you should know. The plugs are the European 2-prong plugs, the circle ones that indent. A lot of the hotels here have the international plugs, but that's the one that you technically officially need, especially if you go out to some other places that, you know, aren't fancy hotels. Everyone speaks English, or if they don't speak English, they'll find somebody else to speak English. We were driving, we got lost on purpose. We took another road to try to find some rice fields to get the drone footage, you know, and we were in the middle of nowhere. We didn't know where to go or where to find the rice fields. And this guy just stopped. He came to help us. He didn't speak English, so he found some other guy, you know, typical scooter with 5 people on the scooter. And then he literally told us, yeah, go here, make a right, make a left, and you'll be fine. So everybody here, for the most part, speaks English, even conversational English. So that's great for most of you guys. Try Bing Tang beer. That's definitely something that you should try. And in terms of food, try the nasi goreng. That's what we had last night. It's actually very good. That's something that I recommend. Not everybody has credit cards. In the majority of the kind of hubs, the civilization hubs, so to speak, where there's a lot of commerce, they'll take credit cards. But not everybody takes credit cards. So most of the ATMs in a lot of the cities will be open 24 hours. So go take money out. 50 bills. You might need it to tip some of the police drivers if you decide not to wear your helmet. So keep that in mind as well. And so that's something that you should keep in mind. I mentioned the hiring scooters part. The beaches are not nice anywhere. And this is something that I was mentioning to you guys in the beginning, where it is like the majestic place that everybody wants you to believe. But there's a part of Bali as well that's a bit of a shithole, to be honest with you, okay? So if you want good beaches, go to Gili, Lombok, or the islands, go south to Uluwatu. That's where the best actual beaches are at, so you guys can check out the beaches, okay? I would be very, very careful with drugs here. They have a death penalty for drugs. One of the locals was telling me that if you steal, they cut off your hand. So I know you guys aren't going to steal, but be very careful with that here, because if you get caught or something happens, it's very, very, very strict. So keep that in mind. Have a relaxing vacation where you don't do drugs just this one time, because obviously if you get in trouble, it's going to be a little bit challenging for you guys. For the majority of you guys, you're not going to need visas. You just arrive, you get in line, they stamp your passport, you be on your way. For some of you, there may be visas on arrival, but for most of you guys, I think watching this video from the UK, Australia, US, Canada, you guys are not going to need, Singapore, you guys are not going to need any visas, so don't worry about that. The weather, there's a wet and dry season, okay? The wet season can have hurricanes. The dry season gets very hot. 1 p.m. obviously is the hottest time of the day. I can't remember off the top of my head when the hurricane season is, but we're here in April. So just before the summer season, I think it's probably a very good time to visit because it's not as hot. And it's also very cool at night as well, which I think in the summer months like July, August, it's deathly hot. so I wouldn't recommend coming here during those times. So make sure I would recommend actually coming during those times as well, because it's very nice. You know, it's super cheap here, guys. I think that a lot of you guys are gonna love it here because it is so cheap. I think two people ate yesterday for $7, and we had shrimp and beef. So super cheap. You guys, you know what I mentioned to you about the scooters. Obviously, the hotels can be a bit expensive. If you go for the really higher upper chain, this hotel here is called Goya. I'll give you guys some of the footage in the middle of this video so you guys can see that. But other than that, there's local places that you can rent that are villas that are not very expensive, that you guys can split with 10 or 20 people, which I think will be great for a lot of you guys. Other than that, I'd recommend that you guys visit more than one place to kind of get a different vibe. I can't express enough how amazing the people are. It's been a lot of fun here. They're super welcoming. The service is great as well, unlike other places in Southeast Asia. But I definitely recommend it, even though it's very touristy, even though it's kind of overblown, so to speak. I still would recommend that all of you guys come to visit here in Bali. It's my first time. I'm having a great time. Avoid the Starbucks. American capitalism, no good. Enjoy the little local coffee shops. And I think that's about it, guys. So I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the day. Oh, two things I want to tell you guys about before I go. There's an elephant hotel that I'm staying at literally today. We're moving, where you can interact with the elephants. It's not the typical tourist trap where they treat the animals very badly. It's actually like a reserve where they try to help the elephants out. So I definitely would recommend you guys staying there. It's a little bit north of Ubud, you know, 10-15 minute scooter, but I'm gonna stay there. I recommend that to you guys. And again, no drugs. Be careful with that, all right? So enjoy Bali. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Leave any of the questions with the hashtag Marcello here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I'll go ahead and start pulling all the questions for you and do a video with you guys. And I hope you guys love Bali.